Battle continues May 1st at the second stop on the PSP Tour, so mark your calendars and sign up your team to take the field at the 2015 PSP Nashville Open. Watch all the action going down and broadcast live May 1st through the 3rd on pspevents.com.
Welcome back here, Houston Heat, about to take on Baltimore Revo. This will be Revo's first game. Houston Heat has already played a match so far this morning, and they defeated Seattle Thunder 4-3, but they look good, but they could look better. So this could be a little interesting thing here with Houston Heat. You know, Houston Heat, again, they had little problems with some communication that first game. Still pulled off the win. But let's see what sort of game that Houston Heat brings to this matchup. Dominating today so far is San Antonio X Factor and San Diego Dynasty. Right now, Houston Heat looking real good. Past the 50-yard line. Chad George putting Baltimore Revo immediately on their heels. Steven O'Mara has walked off early. Looks like another body dropping off. And here comes Chad George going to town from the snake.
Yeah, Revo lost their first body off that snake side corner, and that let Chad George come in right away, and he is just tearing Revo players to bits out there as they cannot hide from him as he crosses onto their side of the field. So much different looking Houston Heat than earlier this morning against Seattle Thunder to start the game.
Yeah, first point, real solid, perfect point for Houston Heat. Greg Sewers, Chad George, Sergei Sonaiskov, Konstantin Fedorov, and Alexander Birtnikov out there to start the game for Heat. And great job by Chad George and Birtnikov. 2 kills for Malloy and 3 for Chad George. Let a little havoc, and also apologize for, depending on your, where you're at, but it might be a little bit of a glitchy feed because of the rain. The way the satellite works is when the rain starts falling from the sky, that satellite has to get through that water that's coming down. So depending on how hard it's raining, that's the explanation for why it may be glitching a little bit. But you can always go back and watch the on-demand, and that'll be just totally fine. So, again, work with us here. Try and do the best we can within all the elements. And if you've been watching for the past couple of years, you know how crazy it can get when you're doing events, live events, outdoor, in whatever weather God wants to throw at you. So, but the games are still going on. Houston Heat looking real good, Todd, here in that first point. Kind of like what we thought Houston Heat would come out this year looking like. Again, that first game wasn't bad, and they had Thunder down for most of the match, but the way they let Thunder kind of get back in at that end, you can see the frustration when Fedorov got interviewed by Lauren at the end of that match. He was frustrated with their communication, but they looked really solid in that first point.
Yeah, and Revo, Houston Heat having the benefit of having played the field already once today, and Revo getting out here for the first time. We know that Revo is a solid team. We believe that they're a contender with the way that they played in their first event, and here they are back out again, ready to start the season fresh in the pro division. Give it a whole year's run. So I expect to see a lot of good things from them.
Yeah, Revo surprised a lot of people last year, and can't wait to see what they bring to the table here this season. Right now, looking pretty solid. They shot Ryan Moorhead off the break, so 1 body advantage for Baltimore Revo. So 1 body advantage for them. And Houston Heat, though, in the snake.
Revo losing 1 body out of that back center. 4-on-4 now.
Here comes Thomas Taylor.
Thomas Taylor on Revo's side of the field. He crosses and gets into their snake. Revo matches up by getting into snake 1. Trying to take Thomas Taylor's attention away from across the field. But looks like Ryan Smith going to get up and get on the move down the Dorito side for Houston Heat. Sam Monville backing up Thomas Taylor. Revo loses another body off the Dorito side. You see Thomas Taylor shooting paint down the wire. Got his gun up on the Revo player laying in snake 1.
Yeah, so Thomas in real good field position right now, playing smart in there so far. He's leaning out on that sideline, trying to keep Revo tucked in there, and O'Mara is now just zoned up, waiting to potentially get run down. Now O'Mara comes out, gunfighting from his stomach. That's a tough position, but the bodies are dropping, and here comes Thomas Taylor. Beautiful move by Thomas Taylor, cuts inside and runs O'Mara down the highway. So
Thomas Taylor took a bounce there from one of his teammates at the end.
So
I think not having any coaching this year is definitely going to help Thomas Taylor get back in these games, because we see every time that he's in, they launch him to the snake. If he gets in there on a ladder snake with no coaching, we know that he can be effective.
Yeah, Thomas Taylor looking real solid. And Ryan Smith as well. 3 confirmed kills for Ryan Smith. There's the rundown. Thomas Taylor. After see those other bodies, though, drop in. That was the work of Ryan Smith and Sam Monville. So Ryan Smith, talked about how well he played in that first game, Todd, continuing to play really well here. And that's huge. Again, Heat has such a deep roster that, especially when you're talking with the 4 Russians, that, now that they got Malloy as well, with the addition to, adding to Fedorov, Sergey, and Mishka, who helped Heat in their first incarnation on the team. And the fact that, Ryan Smith's getting this playing time speaks about how hard he's been working to prove to his teammates he deserves to be out there, and he's proving that right now.
Well, we talked about this before. When you have a high level of talent across the board, you can play all your guys early and try and get them all into the rhythm. And if you're getting contributions from all your guys, then it's a lot easier to make decisions. It's a lot easier to game plan because you can have guys do different stuff, and you don't have to show everything early. You can have different guys play different spots, give other teams different looks, so it makes you a lot harder to scout. X Factor, I think, is doing that right now as well. They're getting Billy in the snake. They're getting Carl in the snake. Colt Roberts is running everywhere he wants and shooting people. He's starting up the middle and then coming out. He's going out to the Doritos and then coming up. We only saw Dynasty for 1 game, but they just came out there and smashed boom. Another team that has a lot of talent stacked on the board. We still have yet to see Infamous coming out here to play in the afternoon. Damage. This is going to be a really exciting field so far from what we've seen from the good teams.
Ironman and Thunder coming up after this.
Yeah, so, I think that this is going to be a really good event. We're going to see some really good paintball as Revo gets a bouncer on the break. Does he come out? They lose one out the snake, and I think maybe one out of the back. Nope, just one body. So Houston Heat doing a lot better job of shooting bodies on the break. Chad George getting in the snake and coming all the way down to Revo's end, and nobody knows he's there. Chad George going to get a free one out of the inside temple.
Chad George is just stacking up bodies right now until he finally gets run down. Nice move there.
Yeah, I think that was Kenny Frank.
Fong. Patrick Fong, number 21.
Patrick Fong coming down, getting Chad George out. And then, did he get another one? Yeah, he shoots Chad Boucher early in the back. Catches him slipping. So now Patrick Fong standing up in the 50 snake. Sergey finds out where he's at and starts putting some paint that way. No bodies left alive on this side of the field. So, Revo, this is how you get back in the game. You get a big one from Patrick Fong.
Well, Patrick Fong's going to have to win a 2-on-1 because he lost his partner. So it's just Fong.
Oh,
and
man.
Fong might have, he almost caught Greg Sewers, but nope, Sewers still alive. Sewers playing smart over there.
Yeah.
And now all they need to do is spread the field out because Fong's in a bad spot to play a 2-on-1 here. He's going to have to hope to catch one of the Heat players, either Sergey or Greg Sewers, and is not able to do it.
No, too many bodies. Too many bodies early. As Greg Sewers goes marching down that Dorito side.
Hey, what a point by Fong, though, man. Fong came to play.
Yeah, gave himself an opportunity. Got into the 50 snake, got a couple kills, but not quite enough as Houston Heat going to go up 3-0. We'll be right back after this.
It has been all Houston Heat so far in this matchup. Baltimore Revo yet to get on the board, though. Patrick Fong tried to step up for his team. Lost too many of his boys around him and wasn't able to do it in that last point. So Houston Heat goes up 3-0. And they are going to send out Thomas Taylor, Sergey Sonaiskov, Chad Boucher, Sam Monville, and Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith, the confirmed kill count leader for the squad, out on the field right now for Houston Heat. Houston Heat on your screen on the breakout. Thomas Taylor all the way to the snake. Overslides one, goes right to two. Looking good here. Thomas Taylor just motoring down the snake. He's already on Revo's side of the field. Comes around, gets one kill. He's going to wrap around. Looks like he's going to get another one. No, did he get him? Nope, still alive. But Thomas Taylor in the driver's seat over here on the snake side, Todd.
Yeah, if he comes on the inside, he's going to get another quick one, and boom, there it is. Right out of that center tower. Picks off Kenny Frank. Didn't even see him coming. Revo just letting Houston Heat get wherever they want on the snake side of the field. We've seen Thomas Taylor on their side of the field twice now.
Thomas Taylor just slaughtering people over here on the snake side for Houston Heat. Just two players left alive for Revo. Stacy Smith and Chris Lloyd left alive for them. Looking at 4 bodies. Only Ryan Smith coming off early for Houston Heat.
Yeah, it's going to be just a matter of time. Sam Monville up over the top of Snake One, just putting the pressure on. Looks like Tim Montresor cutting up through the middle of the field. Tim Montresor looking to make his move, and he gets a shot on that last Dorito side player, Chris Lloyd, as he had nowhere to hide. Stacy Smith there in the back center, just feeling the pressure, nowhere to go.
Yeah, so Houston Heat is they're looking good right now. This is a big statement for Houston Heat, coming out, getting production from lots of different guys, and showing different looks. Really aggressive play by Thomas Taylor over here in the snake, Todd. You know, and that's why Houston Heat picked up Thomas Taylor. I mean, Thomas Taylor has been doing exactly what we just saw him do in the snake for going on 12 years now. And he's a veteran. He's been doing this for a long time. And as soon as he saw there was no one in front of him, he knew his shots, too. He went right down to the opponent's side of the field, knew exactly where those shots were, popped up, got his quick kills, which opened things up for the rest of the team. And they closed that point out. Houston Heat looking real strong right now.
Yep.
So here we go. Can Revo get back in this match? We'll find out. Stick with us. So we're back here, 2015 PSP Dallas Open, and Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez. Houston Heat looking like a team to beat here, coming out strong against Revo. Next up, we have the Ironman and Thunder. Thunder has already played this morning in a close match against Houston Heat, the team we're watching play right now. We have not seen the Ironman yet. They had a couple guys they lost this past year. They don't have Mouse anymore. He's playing on Infamous. We're going to see Infamous later on this afternoon. They don't have Alex Rodriguez, who we saw just demolishing people with San Diego Dynasty early on. So we're going to see what the Ironmen are made of here shortly. But right now, Houston Heat showing us some good looks.
And continuing to shoot bodies on the break. But Revo finally going to get somebody out here to the snake side early, but that's going to be short-lived as he catches one in the goggles from the inside. And now Fedorov is just going to casually walk down the snake. Oh, looks like he almost got picked up. No, he didn't, but big Sergey standing there in the middle of the field in that can, chopping up bodies, trying to fill out to the snake side. There goes Henry Sense. He gets blown to bits, and that little pin over there in the Dorito side corner getting even smaller as 3 Houston Heat players come bearing down on him from the snake side, trying to get that confirmed kill. Does anybody shoot him? Doesn't look like anybody did. They try to get one more. Fedorov gives him a couple extra just for playing the game.
Yeah, he surprised Fedorov a little bit, and you can see Fedorov kind of shaking his head. I think that's the communication, but Houston Heat just on the feeding frenzy, releasing the hounds. Fedorov, though, lucky for Heat, was chilling in the snake, keeping his gun up and his eyes up. But, you know, again, Houston Heat shot so many bodies so fast, and they just, you know, let that aggression move downfield. But good work by Sewers, Fedorov, Kiesnev, and Solnaiskov. Let's check out this replay here. So there is Malloy, and he's going to go first. I'm sorry, Mishka. So Mishka makes his move, followed with Sergey up the center. Still that one player left alive, though, for Revo in that back corner bunker. And Fedorov and Sergey is still alive, too. So Sergey and Fedorov combined on that last kill. And I believe that was Mike Baker, who was the last player left alive there in the center. Baker had some big points for Revo last year. Still waiting to see the Revo that we saw from last season. They are playing, you know, could be the best team in the league. We don't know. That's why we're shooting the paintballs at each other right now to figure out the answers to that question. But if you were in Revo's pits right now and you were coaching them, what would you be saying to them right now? Because they're getting beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, we're playing a good team. We haven't made the snake side on the break. We're getting chopped up on the break. You know, just you got to stay focused. You know, try and learn something about the field while we're out here. Kind of the same situation that Boom was in earlier. You know, if you're not making it out wide, you know, try and consider holding some guns up. You know, just try and get 5 guys to 5 spots alive, and you know, let them fight. But I mean, Houston Heat, that first game, they learned a lot. Now they're coming out here showing it.
Yeah, they look a lot better than they looked in that first game. Looking pretty good right now. So can they keep it up? We'll find out. Stick with us. Welcome back here. Houston Heat is 2 points away from victory here and doing what X Factor did to Top Gun Union and Dynasty did to Boom and 7-0ing Baltimore Revo. Still, 14:05 to go. If Baltimore Revo was able to get something going on in this short little break we had, try to put some of Houston Heat players down off the break, and it looks like they're finally able to do it. Shoot a body off that D side. Looks like Ryan Smith coming off early. And they also lose Ryan Moorhead over here on the snake side. But they also drop a body too. Patrick Fong comes off. So 4 bodies, 3 bodies. So it's 3 on 3. So kind of a little bit of a bloodbath here in the beginning of this point, Todd.
Yeah, there goes big Henry Sense getting out to the snake side. Chad Boucher makes a move across to the Dorito.
You can hear Montresor yelling over, screaming. Tim's got a big voice, and he's screaming to Chad Boucher, a.k.a. Yeah, and he's telling him, hey, look, man, there's only 2 of us left alive. There's 3 of them, so watch out in the snake here. And Chad's now put in a pretty bad spot as Sense is in a really good position to put some paint on Chad Boucher.
Yeah, Tim Montresor thought he saw the body go up into the A. He's actually at that bunker right behind the A, but he's locking Tim off from going anywhere, protecting Sense over here all the way at the end of Houston Heat's snake. 50 Dorito now for Baltimore Revo. He gets up in there and shoots Chad Boucher right in the back. Chad Boucher having a little bit of a rough day so far. And Tim Montresor feels the squeeze as well, as Revo finally is going to get a point on the board, breaking through that Dorito side and shooting up all the Houston Heat players. Houston Heat once again shot that first body for Revo off the snake side of the field, but this time unable to capitalize.
Yeah, well, this is what Revo needed. 12 minutes and 20 seconds to go. They finally put a point on the board. I mean, they're still down by 4, so it's going to be really tough. But they were finally able to shoot players off the break and also win a close game, or win a close point. You have to win the close points. At one time, it was 3-on-3, but Revo able, Stacy Smith and Henry Sense able to tighten it up there at the end. So really solid work by Sean Rill. Got a couple kills before he walked off. He was shot by Sam Monville, but still, just a good job by Revo to put that point on the board. This is exactly what they needed. So we got ourselves a minute and 30 seconds before the start of this next point. And there we are in the pits right now with Empire Factory Team Baltimore Revo.
Flossing those Maryland colors. Got the Maryland, we call that, I don't know what that's called.
Well, while Todd thinks about what that's called, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Featuring wood, speed, or rec ball, Cousins Paintball makes it simple. Cousins Paintball is home to the XPL Lite, UWL, Star Series, SCPA, and PSP. Come to Texas's largest park, Cousins Paintball.
Cousins Paintball. You shoot paintballs.
The streets ain't chasing the same things you chasing. There's many temptations out there. Just stay focused, man. As a team, though. As a team. That's all I knew when I was here. That's what kind of kept me focused. That I finally ran into a team. And you guys have that same thing. Because this you will never die. It'll never die.
So we are back here on a dreary, rain-soaked first day of the 2015 PSP season. Rain's still coming down. Looking at Baltimore Revo on your screen. Pushing up in that center and towards the D side of the field. No one in the snake for them. And then they launch past the 50-yard line all the way up into the center. Here comes Revo. And did he get one? Revo finally getting taken out. Sean Rill trying to get that run through up the center. I don't think he took anybody with him, though. So bold move, did not play off for Sean Rill, and he walks off early. 4 bodies left alive for Revo. 5 for Houston Heat. Houston Heat with a solid 4-point lead.
And it looks like Revo loses another 2 bodies. Lost 1. Referee came in for a check, kind of threw him off his game, and all of a sudden Greg Sewers jumped into the 50 Dorito and blew him to bits. So 6-1 now in favor of Houston Heat. Revo with a little trickery trying to send that body up the middle because Houston Heat was stacking so many guns towards that snake side on the break. He thought he might be able to sneak up through that seam on the inside of the Doritos and get a body, but Malloy, who was shooting snake side, came out to the first temple over here on the snake side and looked inside and was able to pick him up right before he got pretty far. He got almost to their inside Big Dorito.
Well, the point I wanted to make is that, so when we listened to Lauren give us an update about X Factor, she had said that X Factor had really felt that they needed to spread out wide. I don't know if they're just giving her a little bit of information so she puts it out there and then they go up the center tomorrow because we know they can attack up the center with the best of them. We've seen Colt Roberts do it a bunch or whatever. They just pick one of the guys in their team, they could do it. But the point I wanted to make is that, like you said, he got pretty far. I mean, he could have stopped at that 50-yard line in the center, and we've seen guys get to that spot alive. We've seen more guys get to that spot alive than guys get shot trying to get to that spot. So I really think that is definitely a possible move. We saw, A-Rod for Dynasty was just dominating up at the center. So, I mean, there's a lot of options on this field. There's lots of different ways that you can do it out there, and we're going to continue to see, as we see some of these teams play in the afternoon, what other options are available and which sides of the field are going to get played the most and played the best. Let's check in with Lauren.
Hey guys, I am in Heat's pit with Greg Sewers. Greg, during that last point, Revo tried to come really aggressive and run down the middle of the field. How effective is it to run an X play like that?
You know, we feel like it's almost a waste of bodies at this point. As long as we're making it wide, you know, their shooting hasn't been that great off the break yet. So up the center, it's kind of a risky play.
All right, well, Heat is up 5 points right now. We'll see if Revo can close out this gap a little bit. Thank you.
Well, they do have the time to close the gap, but Heat, like Lauren just mentioned, 1 point away from taking this race to 7 victory here. And Revo just hasn't shown us enough to contend with a team like Heat, at least so far. You know, but again, we saw Revo play some amazing matches last year against some really good teams and prove that they deserve to be here. But it is a new season, so it looks like Houston Heat able to get player up into the center. Nobody's dropping for either team right now. And in the snake, Baltimore Revo with Keegan Ingram. So he's going to try to shoot crossfield, and up in the center, it's Chad Boucher. Oh, but it looks like Ingram is going to take the early walk. Did he get clipped by Thomas Taylor? I think he got clipped by Thomas Taylor when he came around. So that is not going to do it. Thomas Taylor doing a good job for Houston Heat in the spins that he's gotten here in the snake. And now he's going to push forward. He's got San Monville right behind him, but San Monville loses a gunfight. Uncharacteristic of San Monville to die early in that position.
Oh, Thomas Taylor just drops the hammer on, was that Fong? Yeah.
Yes.
Tried to make that bump into the snake, Stephen O'Mara, and just Thomas Taylor was sitting there waiting for him, just pounded him into the ground.
So 2 confirmed kills for Thomas Taylor to cap this game off for Houston Heat. And Houston Heat looked really good in this game. The question heading into this matchup was, you know, that first game that they won against Thunder, they looked good, but they didn't look great. But they looked great in this game.
Yeah. Definitely picked up the pace a little bit. You know, they got a stern talking to from Fedorov after that last match. Really kind of seemed to got it together.
Well, and they're looking at the guys that are out there on the field for Houston Heat to close that last point out. Monville, Montresor, Boucher, Taylor, all with 3 confirmed kills. So, you know, solid teamwork by Houston Heat. And with the lineup that they have, supercharged lineup, I mean, they're obviously a contender this year and proving it here in this game against Revo. So there's Thomas Taylor. You can see in the replay from the closing moments of that match. Thomas Taylor played some good paintball today, too.
Yeah, Thomas definitely got into the snake a decent amount of times. Got his kills when he was in there, was a factor. Made people worry about him. Had to turn their guns to focus on him and open up the field to the Dorito side.
Yeah, so big game coming at you next. The Los Angeles Ironmen going to be taking on Seattle Thunder. Again, Seattle had that 1-point loss to Houston Heat, but they came from behind, man. They were trying, and they didn't look bad. So, and the Ironmen have their young guys need to step up this year, and we're going to see if that's going to happen right after these messages. So stick with us.
Hey guys, I am here with Chad Boucher and Tim Montresor of Heat. They just beat Top Gun 7-1. Congratulations, guys. You won both of your matches today. I was talking to Greg Sewers earlier about a play they ran running down the middle of the field. He said he didn't think it was an effective play. What other mistakes do you think you'll see teams make on this layout this weekend?
You're going to see a lot of people lose their bodies. So you have all these spots in the middle. You think you can make easy bumps outside, but there's 3, 4, 5 spots where someone could be shooting from the other side of the field and catch you bumping across. So you have to have controlled aggression and really know where everybody's at.
What's your advice for controlled aggression? It's hard when you're out there. Sometimes communication can be tough. What is the thought process to make sure you're moving at just the right time?
It's working together with the guy in front of you or the guy behind you. So we try to work in pairs. So we have a guy in front, a guy in the back, and we try to at least work together to find the inside guy to put that person in.
Chad, talk to me a little bit about the Dorito side. I can't see it from over here. How's it playing out for you guys, and what's the best strategy you've found so far?
You know, like Tim said, you got to have controlled aggression, and, you know, it's just us getting the kills off the break, and then along with just, you know, working your guy behind you, working together. If you're not working as a team, especially with this rain, you know, you're not going to be successful, and that's right now we just showed how we do it, and I mean, we're going to continue to do that, so.
Because you haven't gotten a ton of practice on this layout, you're obviously going to be learning things every single match you play. What are some things you've already figured out from your first 2 matches in Dallas so far?
I mean, it's hard to tell just because the rain is affecting a lot of different things, but, you know, people are trying to run. Some people can get away with it, some people can't. But also, like Tim said, you get the kills off the break, and that just changes up the whole game plan. So as long as you continue to get kills off the break, then it works out.
All right, thank you guys. Congratulations on a good first day. Next up, we're going to have Ironmen versus Thunder. Thunder lost their first match, so we'll see if they can get a win. Stay tuned.
Mark your calendars and get ready for the battle at the upcoming stops on the 2015 PSP Tour. The Nashville Open goes down May 1st through the 3rd. Mid-Atlantic Open June 18th through the 21st. The Chicago Open takes place August 7th through the 9th. And the biggest paintball tournament on earth, the PSP World Cup, runs October 15th through the 18th. Sign up your team now and get into the fight. Watch all the action on PSPEvents.com. You don't want to miss it.